How much farther can we push ourselves to make advances in space exploration? SpaceX plans to launch several missions to Mars in the very near future. Throughout this speech, you will learn about the several missions being launched very soon, the rocket being used, as well as more future plans that are to take place after these missions. While a trip to Mars does seem like a stretch, it may be much closer than you think. The missions that SpaceX plans to launch take place in the years 2022 through 2024. The reason that the missions are planned for these years is because this is a time when the Earth will be very close to Mars. Earth will be close to its aphelion, or its furthest distance from the Sun, and Mars will be close to its perihelion, or its closest distance to the Sun. Another reason is that on these years there will be a Mars opposition. This is when the Earth passes in between the Sun and Mars. A Mars opposition is so rare because one Mars year is equal to about 687 Earth days. The Earth orbits the Sun about 2 times every time Mars orbits the Sun once. The first mission, in 2022, is only a cargo mission. There will be no crew, and the purpose will be to identify any presence of water, observe hazards, establish initial power, start mining, and set up a life support infrastructure. The second mission, in 2024, is the first mission to involve a crew. Their purpose will be to set up a depot and prepare for future crew flights. Also, the rockets from both of these missions will serve as a start for bases built on Mars. Now that we have taken a look at the giant leaps SpaceX plans to take, let's learn about how they are going to do it. The rocket that is planned to be used is called the BFR. The BFR rocket uses resources from other past SpaceX rockets, such as Falcon 9, Falcon Heavy, and Dragon. This rocket has the highest capacity recorded and the lowest marginal cost. This is because the rocket is reusable, meaning we don't have to make a new rocket for every mission. It has many uses such as Earth-to-Earth transportation, moon missions, placing satellites, and getting to international space stations. Just imagine being able to get anywhere on Earth in an hour or less. While there are a lot of things to look out for very soon, all of this will open the doors for many more and larger advances in the distant future. One such thing could be commercial space travel. While this is most likely will be a thing way after these two missions, it is still a possibility. It will also be very costly when it is introduced, so you might have to wait even longer before you can participate. Another thing that could happen is that we start a civilization on Mars. This is also very far into the future, and not many will be able to become a part of it for a very long time. It will start being made very soon though. As I mentioned before, the rockets from both of these two missions will serve as a start for habitats for people trying to colonize Mars. In addition to colonizing and commercial space travel, there is also something called an atomic clock, more specifically the DSAC, or Deep Space Atomic Clock, being launched into space. This device will help us immensely when it comes to space travel. It is a device that aids in space navigation. This will help make longer distance space missions a lot easier. Missions such as the missions to Mars. One of the more ambitious things to happen in the future is to launch nanocrafts to the nearest stars besides our own, otherwise known as Alpha Centauri A and Alpha Centauri B. This project plans to take very small spacecrafts, way too small for passengers, and sending them to the nearest solar system. The goal is to gather information on the stars and the planets of that solar system. The only problem is that this solar system is 4.367 light years away from Earth. This organization's solution to this is to project a bunch of high-powered lasers from a field on Earth towards a light sail attached to the spacecraft. This could potentially allow the nanocraft to travel at 20% the speed of light and arrive in as little as 20 years. But this also means that we would only get a quick glimpse of the solar system as the craft zooms past at 134.2 million miles per hour. This will be the beginning of a reality in which you don't have to be constrained to one planet, but instead move between many. Now you know about two major space missions in the very near future. The rocket they will use to accomplish these missions, as well as some possible distant future results from these. Hopefully SpaceX will continue to make major advances and make far distant space travel more accessible in the future.